to the first session of our class on Hindu art and architecture. So today is the introduction class. Today I will be introducing about what is Hindu art and architecture in India, how they are related and what is the philosophical, their aesthetical importance, and how we deal it today, even today we follow. So, as per Hindu art or architecture, the world is an illusion which is perceived and interpreted by the senses and which gives us thoughts and ideas about something which is universal, which is known as the egoistic existence of the human. The major stimulating factor behind art and architecture in India is religion. Because of religion, we had so many forms of art and architecture in India. The purpose of religion is to eliminate the illusion of egoistic existence and to bring out the realization of the universal unity and to understand that each one of us are the manifestation of the Supreme. So, when we talk about the Supreme, it is the ultimate truth, that is the state of bliss, is which is beyond and it is beyond our limited means of acquiring knowledge. And however, a number of symbolic devices were developed during the ancient period to achieve this blissful and uninterrupted experience. So these devices are called mantras, yantras, and images. So in ancient India, when we talk about art, architecture, it is more of philosophical rather than just for the view of the person. So when we talk about art and architecture here, it is said that there are certain sources about studying art and architecture, like the literary and the archaeological sources. When we know about the archaeological sources, there we have the temples, the sculptures, the images, the coins, which gives us a brief ideas about how the religion was following in the society, what were the problems people was facing, what patronage was provided to them, what were the advantages, and everything is present in the society. So when we talk about the literary sources, there are a certain number of literary sources which gives us an idea about how to make temples and how to make images and which god or deities and how what should be the length of their hands, the width of their faces, the width of the shoulders, everything is given in those literary sources. So some of the literary sources I will be discussing about is the Shilpa Shastra, the Vastu Shastra, the Artha Shastra, the Samrangana Sutradhar. These are all texts which dates from 3rd century BCE to 7th century CE. These gives us a valid as well as a large idea about how to build temples, how to build images of gods and goddesses. So when you see the PPT, you will get an idea about what I am talking about here. I have also provided with you an idea of about the Vastu Mandala and Vastu Purush. So in Indian context, when we build something or when we think of building temples or even houses, we follow the Vastu Purusha. So Vastu Purusha is a cosmic Purush. Purush here in Hindi it is Purush means men, but when I am talking here Purush, Purush means a person, the cosmic deity, the supreme reality. So the chart is given to you. There are eight into eight. There are 64 the squares, which gives us an idea about which deity is placed on which position of a house or a structure. So, as per ancient India, the first time this Vastu Purush or the Vastu Mandal was used by Lord Vishwakarma, who is believed, who is said to be the first architect of ancient India, and he is a god himself, and he has all the powers of building structures, building temples, building images. Since he is an architect, he is also an engineer who builds all these beautiful temples and sculptures of the gods and goddesses and the deities. So the last slide will be talking about of the axis of axis and the body as a representation of the temple, as well as also it will be talking about sacred space. So when we talk about an Indian context, what is sacred space? A space is a place is made sacred by keeping a vastu mandal, and by putting up the vastu shastra, a place is made a sacred space and sacred place. So when we talk about the sacred place and sacred space, it is the temple. It is the inside of the temple, the cellar of the temple, which is in Sanskrit we call it the Garbhagruh, which is the sanctum sanctorum, where the deity is placed. So that is the sacred space and the sacred place where, as we all know, the womb is believed to be the beautiful and the most purest form in the world, and it is very very holy. Hence, the deity itself is placed into the cellar or the sanctum sanctorum or the garbhagruh. So hence that is the sacred space and the sacred place. Since all the pujas or the rituals take place there, hence it is called the sacred space. When we talk about body as a representation of a human of and the representation of the temple itself, when you see the presentation, the last presentation gives us a I have given you a chart that how a human being is kept and how the temple structure is built on the basis of that body structure, and the person who is lying down is the supreme lord, is the vastu purush himself or herself. It is gender neutral actually. And how the different parts of the temple are decided on the base of that vastu purush, and how the vastu mandala is working on them, how it is based on them. So for here, this is the first presentation and the first lecture. Please, if you have any doubts, do contact. Thank you for today.